Secretary Don Rumsfeld and I have just completed a day of extremely productive discussions with foreign ministers. This annual meeting reinforces the strong ties between our two countries, and never have these ties been stronger. Since September 11, 2001, Australia has stood with us in the global campaign against terror. And the vicious terrorist attack in Bali on October 12th, which took so many Australian lives, has only steeled our shared resolve. In this time of mourning, our hearts go out to the courageous people of Australia who time and again have been our ally in war, our partner in peace, and a force for freedom around the globe. The attack in Bali has placed our ministerial discussions in even sharper focus, and our discussions covered the full range of issues from Southeast Asia to Iraq, from regional security to missile defense, and of course, the global war on terrorism. Given our shared values, it should not be surprising that there is a great depth of cooperation, similarity of objectives, and broad harmony of views between our two countries. We both recognize, for example, that the political and economic challenges facing Indonesia will be of vital importance to both our countries and to the region. Both of us seek the dismantling in a prompt and visible manner of North Korea's program to enrich uranium for nuclear weapons. We also agree on the need for Iraq to abandon its pursuit of weapons of mass destruction, and that action must be taken if Iraq does not do so in response to the international community.
From Australia's point of view, we had what could only be described as a high-quality, wide-ranging and lively round of talks during dinner last night and especially during today. And these talks did demonstrate the great vibrancy and relevance of the Australia-United States alliance and the good shape that it's in, and the close alignment also of our strategic interests on so many of the major issues on the international agenda. As Secretary Powell has said, the talks covered a range of security challenges, first and foremost the war on terrorism. I think we went from a point of having immense sympathy for the United States for what happened on September the 11th to reaching a point of great empathy with the United States when we saw what happened to Australians in Bali on the 12th of October this year. So in our discussions on terrorism, we emphasised the need for close cooperation by both of us, by Australia and the United States, with Indonesia and other partners in Southeast Asia, and the need for each country to take responsibility for the elimination of terrorism within their own borders. On Iraq, I can say that from Australia's point of view, we have been urging the United States to do all they could through the United Nations, and we've been impressed by the United States' commitment to work hard towards an appropriate resolution in the United Nations Security Council. Australia strongly supports the United States resolution, and we've been doing what we can internationally to try to help garner support for that resolution, and we hope that it will successfully pass through the Security Council before too long.
Meetings in Australia last year, and we were very pleased to host our fellow ministers here in the United States. It's more important to say, I think, that following the September 11th attacks, Australia was one of the very first countries to join with us in invoking the ANZUS Treaty for the first time in history. In Afghanistan, Australian Special Forces have fought shoulder to shoulder with U.S. forces and played an important role in the defeat of the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda in that country. Australia suffered the first non-U.S. fatality in Afghanistan in February of this year, Sergeant Andrew Russell. Friends of Sergeant Russell said that you could rely on him to never let you down. The same can be said of his country, which has demonstrated a clear commitment to combating the evils of terrorism.
You think that's enhanced, if the reports are correct, enhanced chances of an agreement? And if I can ask a